Hello everyone. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then subscribe to this channel. Stephen Pedling, a transcending figure in hypothetical material science, is eminent for his momentous commitments to how we might interpret the universe. His work on dark openings, cosmology, and quantum mechanics significantly affects science. Regardless of confronting the difficulties of amyotrophic parallel sclerosis, ALS, Selling's scholarly accomplishments and public effort have made him an image of logical request and strength. This paper investigates his initial life, major logical commitments, individual battles, and getting through heritage. Early life and training. Stephen William Selling was brought into the world on January 8, 1942, in Oxford, Britain, a date that corresponded with the 300th commemoration of Galileo's passing. His dad, Forthright Pedling, was a clinical scientist, and his mom, Isabel Selling, was a secretary and an educator. The family's scholarly climate cultivated Stephen's initial interest in science and the universe. Pedling went to St. Albans School, where he showed a distinct fascination with math and science. In spite of being a typical understudy in different subjects, his fitness for complex issues became obvious. He proceeded to concentrate on material science at College School, Oxford, where he graduated with a 5-star degree in 1962. Pedling sought after his doctoral investigations at the College of Cambridge, where he worked under the oversight of Dennis Sayama. During this time, he started fostering his speculations on dark openings and cosmology, making way for his future notable work. Dark openings and singularities. Stephen Pedling's initial work centered around the idea of dark openings, areas of room where gravity is solid to such an extent that not even light can escape. In 1970, Pedling and Roger Penrose fostered the Penrose-Selling peculiarity hypotheses, which suggested that singularities, places of endless thickness, are an unavoidable element of dark openings and the huge explosion. These hypotheses were a critical progression in grasping the idea of the universe and the starting points of enormous peculiarities. Pedling radiation. One of Pedling's most popular commitments is the hypothesis of Selling radiation. In 1974, he recommended that dark openings are not totally dark yet produce radiation because of quantum impacts close to the occasion skyline. This radiation, known as Selling radiation, makes dark openings lose mass and in the long run vanish after some time. This momentous hypothesis tested the recently held conviction that nothing could get away from a dark opening and has had significant ramifications for how we might interpret quantum mechanics and cosmology. The theory of the universe's origin and cosmology. Selling additionally made critical commitments to the theory of prehistoric cosmic detonation, which places that the universe began from a very hot and thick state around 13.8 quite a while back. In his 1981 work, The Enormous Scope Design of Room-Time, co-created with George Ellis, Pedling investigated the ramifications of the theory of the universe's origin and the idea of the universe's extension. In 1983, Pedling and James Hartle fostered the Hartle-Selling no-limit proposition, which recommends that the universe has no limits or edges. As per this hypothesis, the universe is limited yet without limits, taking out the requirement for a solitary start and giving another point of view on the beginnings of the universe. Finding of ALS. In 1963, at 21 years old, Stephen Selling was determined to have amyotrophic horizontal sclerosis, ALS, an ever-evolving neurodegenerative sickness. Specialists provided him with a guess of a couple of years to live. Notwithstanding this dreary finding, Pedling's assurance and scholarly interest drove him to proceed with his exploration and public commitment. The movement of ALS progressively impeded his actual capacities, however Pedling adjusted by utilizing a discourse-creating gadget and a wheelchair. His flexibility notwithstanding actual provokes turned into a motivation to numerous and featured the force of the human soul in beating misfortune. Advocacy of science. Notwithstanding his logical examination, Stephen Pedling was an unmistakable well-known individual and science communicator. His 1988 book, A Short History of Time, turned into a global blockbuster and carried complex logical ideas to an overall crowd. The book investigated subjects like the idea of time, the enormous detonation, and dark openings, making state-of-the-art science available to non-trained professionals. Pedling's skill to make sense of complicated thoughts in an unmistakable and connecting with way procured him boundless acknowledgement and deference. He made various TV appearances and public talks, advancing public interest in science and moving people in the future of researchers. Grants and praises. Stephen Pedling's commitments to science were perceived with various honors and praises. He was chosen an Individual of the Regal Society in 1974, quite possibly of the greatest differentiation in English science. He additionally got the Copley Decoration in 2006, granted for his extraordinary accomplishments in logical exploration. Pedling stood firm on the esteemed footing of Luke Asian Teacher of Math at the College of Cambridge, a post recently held by Sir Isaac Newton. His impact reached out past the scholastic local area, as he turned into a worldwide image of logical accomplishment and scholarly interest. Science and culture. Stephen Pedling's effect on science is significant. His work has reshaped how we might interpret the universe, tested existing speculations, and opened new roads of exploration. The idea of selling radiation, specifically, has impacted continuous examination in quantum mechanics and the investigation of dark openings. Pedling's public commitment and composing have made science more open and connecting with to an expansive crowd. His capacity to convey complex thoughts in a conceivable and convincing manner has motivated endless people to investigate the secrets of the universe and seek after professions in science. Rousing figure. Pedling's own excursion, set apart by his fight with ALS and is preceded with scholarly accomplishments, fills in as a motivating illustration of constancy and versatility. His assurance to proceed with his exploration notwithstanding the difficulties of his sickness exhibits the force of the human soul and the significance of chasing after one's interests. Pedling's heritage reaches out past his logical commitments. He has turned into a social symbol, representing the convergence of logical request and the human experience. His life and work keep on motivating individuals all over the planet to investigate the secrets of the universe and to move toward difficulties with boldness and assurance. Stephen Pedling's life and vocation address a wonderful excursion of scholarly accomplishment and individual versatility. His notable commitments to the comprehension of dark openings, cosmology, and quantum mechanics have changed our insight into the universe and tested regular logical reasoning. Regardless of confronting the incapacitating impacts of ALS, Pedling's assurance and public effort have made him an image of logical greatness and diligence. His effect on both mainstream researchers and the public has been significant, making complex logical ideas available and moving people in the future of scientists and masterminds. Stephen Pedling's heritage is a demonstration of the force of the human psyche and soul, and his effect on science and culture will be associated with ages to come. Thank you for watching.